Michael James. I'm originally from Cornwall in the southwest in the UK. I currently live in Melbourne, Australia, and chef, cook by trade. And at the moment, I'm consulting, but I'm also the author of 2 books: The Tivoli Road Baker, which has been out for about 4 years now, and also newly released All Day Baking, which is what I'm going to be showing you today. This is a book about savoury baking, which brings together my background of being a cook and a chef and a baker. So it's very much what I do at home, a very accessible and achievable book. And today I'll be sharing the knowledge with you, which is something I do with family, friends all the time. It's something I enjoy the most. Okay, this is one of my favourite recipes because it's very easy to make at home. You can make a whole sourdough recipe at home. I'll make this at home with my daughter all the time. It's probably one of her favourite things. She gets super excited when she sees this is coming out of the oven. Again, you don't have to worry too much about sticky doughs or overhydrating because you just kind of stick it into tins. So it's super easy, very forgiving. It's beautiful, and you can also make it your own by adding olives or different herbs or preserved lemons, tomatoes, onions on top. So it's super easy and make it your own, which is very important. The most important thing I enjoy most about this, I guess, is using your senses and kind of be in the moment to really enjoy the flour and water coming together. And I always ask myself questions, how does it feel, and does it need more water? And the most important thing, there's lots of different steps. Like water temperature is really important. That's I try to aim 26 to 28 degrees Celsius. Having a really nice healthy starter that's been looked after and fed quite a few times before you go to use it. But again, it's a good temperature. And also having a really good feel. I start my doughs a little bit drier, and then it's always best to add water. So when I start to mix sourdoughs or any kind of bread doughs, I always start on the drier side, especially if I'm in a different country or again using different flours, because it can change from bag to bag. So it's important to start with dry flour. It builds up a stronger gluten network, and you can always add more water. It's called a batter-up, so it's a very good tip for the home baker to take on board. And also the dough temperature is extremely important as well, because if you load dough temperatures, then it's just going to take a long time, or adversely if it's summertime or high temperatures, it's going to be a lot quicker. So trying to maintain around 26 degrees Celsius is a good ballpark for a good, well fermented bread. And so we're going to mix this bread. So this is again a little bit drier than I would expect. So I've kept a little bit of water aside, which I'm going to add now. And this dough also has olive oil, so I'm just going to add in the olive oil. It's about 15 grams. So this is really about relaxing and just enjoying the moment and having a good meditative kind of time with your doughs and enjoy the process. So after you've mixed the dough, I give it a series of stretch and folds every half an hour for the first 2 hours. And then in the same bowl, just leave it to what we call bulk or proof for at least 1.5 to 2 hours until it's risen and you see signs of fermentation, like bubbles and a nice wobble. And if you peel down the sides, you'll see lots of little air pockets. Transfer the dough from the bowl into a baking pan. I use like a 23 square centimetre baking pan. So again, because the dough's so wet, I just tip it in. Don't have to worry about shaping. Super easy. And and then just let it rise for about 1.5 to 2 hours in the pan. Again, you want to maintain good dough temperatures, so around 24 to 26 degrees, somewhere in that ballpark. Again, 1.5 to 2 hours. You should have something that's close to this, so you've got got lots of nice bubble going on. So again, that's just basically full of air inside, so it's got a good sign of fermentation. And here you can see beautiful kind of bubbles of the gluten stretching out from all the gases inside. And then it's time to kind of put toppings on side. So we've got, again, use what's around, seasonal, like preserved lemons, artichokes, aubergines, sun-dried tomatoes, chop some garlic, herbs, whatever you've got in the garden. So in Australia, in our garden, we've got tons of rosemary and thyme and lots of oregano and mushroom. So I just use whatever's abundant, and then here the sourdough school, we've got some beautiful rosemary just picked, so I'm going to put some rosemary on top, a bit of flaky sea salt, and use olives, green, black olives, whatever you've got at hand, just to make it your own. That's the most important thing with recipes, is take inspiration and make it your own. So I'm just going to put in some rosemary sticks into the dough. Again, you can peel off the leaves or put the sticks in if you want. Just kind of go pretty free range at this stage. I've got some big Sourdough olives, so these are huge. So I'm just going to poke them into the dough, so they just going to touch the bottom of the pan. I'm just going to spray my hands with oil. Dip your hands in some a little bowl of some oils. That's just to stop it from sticking. So I'm just going to put little dimples into the bread. Just put your fingertips in. Just push down to the bottom of the pan, so you can feel the pan. And then some flaky sea salt on top. So I just put some dimples into the pan, and then just going to put some. The dimples have to capture the oil, bits of salt. So every kind of method is a little bit different. Either salt, a bit of rosemary, or if you use lemons, preserved lemons or tomato. So the dimples just have to capture the oil in the dough. So again, and then just a little drizzle. I've got some rosemary oil here, so I'm just going to sprinkle some rosemary oil. Again, feel free to use anything that's at hand, whether it's rosemary oil or you've got lemon oil, extra virgin or light oil. So a good generous drizzle of oil on top. That'll help to get a really nice kind of crispness to the crust of your focaccia. So there we go. Now, so preheat the oven to 230 degrees Celsius, and in the bottom of the oven I have a little baking tray that's got water in it. That helps to create steam, which again helps to give a nice lift to your dough in the initial baking phase. So at 230 degrees Celsius for about 25 minutes, and I check the dough, and I'm looking for a nice even golden colour all over the top of the focaccia.